wristwatch thing quit. Yeah, it quit working. Technology, what a bummer. I just drove through some of the most ridiculous traffic. I wish I'd let her take a dang jeepney. Well, we're gonna give her a go. Oh, come on, buddy. Yeah, this is what you get here in Lipa. Every day. And you're just not going to get out of it. That's all there is to it. Yeah, this is the one thing if you come here. This is what you're going to get. Still says we got a minute on the light. Yeah, I wish I can't start the thing unless I take it off my head when I don't have this watch. Sorry, guys. It's green. This bike too is to maneuver in traffic. It feels so top heavy, it's difficult. This is an everyday thing here in Lipa. They don't, they just don't go here. The traffic cops, to me, I don't know, it just seems to me the training is severely lacking. They don't know how to make the traffic move. We've seen where there were no cross-coming cars at all and the light was red and the guy wouldn't wave to people coming from the cross traffic on. He just walked away. That's ridiculous. You get out there and you wave people on through the light. But that's what they do here. It's just, it amazes me. You know, what is their job? I was teasing my wife. They got these little, they got a fan in the bottom and it looks like a little man that's blowing all around. They could get one of those with a solar panel and put it in the traffic in the middle and it would be just as good as one of these traffic cops. I mean, it's just ridiculous how they do it here. And these jeepneys, instead of pulling over, he could have pulled forward and been out of the way, but no, why would he do that? We found that out coming home yesterday. We were out in the province at the swimming, and the tricycles were pulling off to the right. They were staying out of the way. But when it came to, when we got around Padre Garcia, they just got where they're in the way. Taking up 2 lanes, 20 kilometers per hour and wouldn't get out of the way. It's just like, it's this area, guys. It just seems this area, they just, you know, they deliberately want it slow for some reason. No parking. That's the bad thing about here. There's a lot of places we would shop at, but we can't. But the one thing we did last night when we got home, instead of cooking, we went up to Antonio's. It's behind the Robinsons Mall, and it's kind of down a little lonely road. There's a sign there, and you drive down this lonely road. They got a little bit of parking, basketball court, kids were shooting baskets, but they got the best damn pizza. Faye and I got an anchovy and olive that was pretty damn good. I mean, I really liked it. And then the kids, we just got them a pepperoni. They loved it. You know, get these guys here. You got an opening to where you could go, and no, why he ain't gonna do that? He's just gonna putz around. Try to peel off, and everybody else does. It's just, you can't make time here at all. It's just how it goes. Yeah, I'm going to be so happy to be away from this place. And I will avoid it like the plague, guys. I won't come around here. I actually honestly believe it's better in Manila than it is here. At least the traffic stops are trained. You know, they do their best to keep it moving, and you can see the only problem with them is they're going to gouge you if they see a Kano. They're going to pull you over for absolutely no reason, just to gouge you for money. And that's a shame. But the main government, they're never going to do anything to stop it, because they don't pay them guys squat. So that way they get their extra money. That's their bonus. And the way they come up around you here. Yeah, for here, having a little bike is king in this traffic, guys. Absolutely. Yeah, we're hardly any distance from home, but you know, it can take an hour. This morning to get my wife, she was late, supposed to be there at 8, and she was late because I said, oh, we leave at 7:30, we'll be there in time. No. And here the bigger vehicles rule. They want the lane, they're just going to shove you over. They don't care. We had a big truck just shove us over and actually hit the edge of the bike. Almost knocked us down because he was coming. He was taking that lane. It didn't matter that I was in my lane like this. Nope. And this thing, it's a little bit too wide to be filtering like those guys. When I was on the little Yamaha, it was pretty easy. Of course, the mirrors aren't as wide, these big grips. And you hit the handlebar with these things, and this thing will go down. The top is, once it starts to go, you'll break a leg trying to hold it up. That's one thing a lot of people do when they buy a bike. They don't check that. They just see a certain model and say, I want that one. And That's something. I always liked ones that were balanced. You know, I actually get on them and stand there and lean them over while they're between my legs just to see. That's why I love my SV650. I could flick that thing around like nothing and manhandle it. And I could ride with guys on the 1,000, 1,100cc, 1350s and all that stuff. And I was right there with them. You know, they'd be really braking hard for the corners, and I didn't have to. Through here a little bit. Get away from little Mr. Furniture Hauler. You know, it seems like a lot of times instead of getting over, they don't look here. You know, we had a guy coming home the other day on a tricycle, pulled out with the passenger, and we had another, you know, Chinese fire drill trying to get stopped to keep from killing him. And, you know, he flipped me the bird like I did something wrong. I'm on a highway where the speed limit's like 70, and he just comes flying out from the side road. It's, you know, it's just such a shame. It seems like they have no respect for themselves. You know, oh wow, I won't have to work if I get maimed. You know, it's just crazy. But I've said this many times, I don't recommend coming here and you're going to stay. Don't get a car. Just forget a car. Unless you're out in the province. You know, we drove, and it'll spoil the hell out of you driving in the province, because we got on the highway and just went. And then you get in places like this. Good morning. Another thing about this bike that I think they should change is the horn is incredibly feeble. You know, it's kind of feeble. But I know Western's going to put a nicer horn on, but it definitely needs a better horn. A lot of bikes have the same thing as Harley too, with the self-canceling turn signal. They don't have it though. On, you know, Harley, I had it on my Harley. I really loved it. On all the Harleys, even the Buell had it. But you can forget, they don't. This bike doesn't have an audible, loud beep that you can hear in this traffic. I mean, it's always loud here. You wonder how they actually get commerce done, you know, the way the traffic is. We were coming out of our swimming party there we had in the ocean, and there must have been a rice harvest, because we saw a lot of trucks. And I stay away from them. We were behind a rice truck for a while. His back axle was a good couple inches past the right front wheel, dog tracking like crazy. This thing was riding sideways, way overloaded. I mean, these are 80-kilo bags of rice, the real big ones. And man, this truck was just, the springs were flipped upside down, and they're driving down the road, and he's trying to keep it in the lane. Kept wanting to go left, and he just was bobbling back and forth, and we'll go around him. I said, I'm not going around him. Ain't no way in a million years. What if something breaks? We're gonna get killed. See how these guys do? They're just gonna bully the shit out of you. once we get through this, it should be okay. And they do circles here, which to me is absolutely ridiculous. And of course, the jeepney's got to come from way over there, so that blocks the traffic more. They should make this a no U-turn for jeepneys. See how it blocks all the traffic? Bicycle coming behind them. You go to do something nice here and let somebody in, you're going to get 10, 15 people coming after them that just aren't going to. They won't stop to let you in a little bit, stop back a little bit. They're not going to do it. He's going to keep crowding so that nobody else can get through. It's the way they drive here. Okay, into the sun, and away we go. Hope it's not too glary on you guys. This to the right here, that's the way to go, but I don't know how bad that's going to be. That's got a bad crossroad there that the guards don't seem to know how to manage. LTO guys. You don't never know too. See that guy? I don't hear an audible blinker. His blinker's on. You don't know what he's going to do. This isn't motorcycle riding, guys. This is not my idea of fun at all. I actually hate this. It would have been worse in the car though. I'd be going an extra hour. My glasses are starting to fog up. I'm getting so hot. This bike is just throwing massive amounts of heat right in my face. It's definitely not the cooling system is not designed. They don't channel the heat away from you. They channel it right up in your crotch. I'm soaked with sweat right now. This is what you get, guys, if you want to come to Lipa. I personally think anybody who wants to come here is just crazy in their head. I get out of here, I swear, I'll go around. I'll take a 200-kilometer detour to just get around this place. It's just they start driving here at a young age and they learn all the bad habits. And this is what you get, guys. You know, they're just gonna drive the way they want to drive. They're not going to be considerate. And you get this. And then you got your traffic cops that, you know, I don't think it's their fault. I don't think, you know, I think they just give them a little uniform as they get out there. I don't think they train them at all. I mean, I can't see that they're trained. And I don't think it pays much, so you're not going to keep anybody real good. We used to have an old guy up on the corner, and he would do our corner, and when he was there, we would move. But they made him a boss, and, you know, he's not out there, so we sit and wait. But he was pretty good. He was the one I talked to about the kids, and I said I feel safer with the kids up front here, because then my arms are holding them in instead of in the back. And he's like, yeah, okay, anywhere around here. And he was telling the other LTO people. But come on now. That's another thing they'll do. These tricycle drivers are trolling for passengers, so they'll just dick around and slow things up more. The biggest problem here is the jeepneys and the tricycles. We saw when we were coming out of the swimming, the jeepneys would pull all the way over out of the way, and you just kept right on rolling. Tricycles, when you were coming up behind them, they see you, and they drive in the middle lane because it's smoother, but they'd see you coming and they would pull over to the right into that lane, and everything was fine. But here, as soon as you get here, that all goes away. They don't do it. They'll sit out there and do, and I'm not kidding you, 20 kilometers per hour, and then they'll hog the lane. They'll split the lane so you can't get around on either side. And they all do it. I don't know why. It's like, but you guys, at least you're getting to see my ride home from a few kilometers away. I think it's only about what we're driving now is about 4 kilometers, a little 4.5. And you're going to get to see the whole deal till I get home. And I would not recommend, if you're going to be doing this a lot, and you can't help it, not to have a super big bike. I could be driving through the lanes, but this is too wide. That's why I like the XV650, because it was real narrow. I had those double take mirrors on it. I could fold in if I was going through traffic. Those were great mirrors. I had them on dirt bikes and everything. Those are great mirrors. They got a hinge right here, and you just fold them in, and you can actually still use them. The newer model has a little hinge there that's pretty strong, and you could flex it so that at least you could see beside you while they're folded in. So that was kind of cool. For traffic, it was perfect. And then you could filter through. And that bike, the balance on that bike was fantastic. I'm getting better at this one with balancing, but that XV650, it just balanced on itself. I think you could put it on the throttle lock. It's got a little thing on it where when you let the clutch out, it automatically kicks the RPMs up so you don't stall it, which is a pretty cool feature. And I'm betting you on that XV650, you just let the clutch out without being on it and it wouldn't fall over. It just drive down the road. That was one of the best balanced bikes I ever had. But this one, I got to give it a lot of credit for turning. The way it handles and stuff, for being as heavy as it is, it does pretty good. It's Chinese, but so far everything seems to be good. It's a rare thing that you let them in. Another problem here too, this one's not so bad, but the tinted windows here, you can't see through the vehicles in front of you. And that makes it for dangerous. There's no need for a third light here. You can't see it anyway, they tint them so bad. Tricycles here, they'll put a big paper behind them, or a tarpaulin they call it. You can't see through them either most of the time. And at nighttime with these tinted windows, they got their high beams on. That's just a standard thing. So you get blinded, especially if it starts to rain. It's miserable here. When I'm driving in the day, I don't really wear my glasses, but when I drive at night, I do, because I need every little bit of help I can get. Little guy in the truck, go, man. Come on, Pokey. one of the better ones here. He seems to keep the traffic moving pretty good. I mean, you start to get to see these same folks out here, and you start to see which ones have some sort of an idea what to do in the traffic, and he does pretty good. There's a woman that's like back behind me where that old woman was standing. She's a portly, obese thing. She has no clue. She just stands there and flaps her arms like a duck. Okay, you gotta watch out for the walkers here. Nice and quiet, this bike, huh? Just a little bit of a whine. Can't really see through him either. You know, that makes it for bad. And you can't leave a space in between you and the guy in front of you. There's, you know, a bunch of vehicles will pile in there. Another thing they'll do here, like in this lane the other day we were coming up, and it was a horrible traffic jam. Some guy, he just decided he wanted to go somewhere, so he stopped right in this lane, right in the middle of the lane, threw his flashers on, and just got out. I don't know if he was having lunch or what, but they seem to do that a lot here. You know, as long as you put your flashers on, yeah, you can park in the middle of the highway, who cares? That's what they do here. And we had this whole thing so bottled up, you just never know which way to take. There's different roads you can take, but you never know. And of course they'll park all their stuff on the sidewalk. This thing, another thing I would do to this immediately, if I had it, I would change this clutch cable and put a hydraulic on it. We're doing this in the traffic. You know, my hands getting tired from operating the clutch. It's just a little bit too heavy. It's probably the heaviest clutch I ever had on a bike. But a hydraulic clutch would fix that in a heartbeat. I've done that to a couple bikes before. I had a Righteous on my 650. It came with a Righteous stunt clutch, a 2-finger job. Plus the guy had put hydraulic on it. And man, that thing was just buttery smooth when I was at the track. After that, I was like, man, I gotta have that. See, look, there's a big truck. There's our traffic jam right there. You know, there's our big truck. I don't know what he's gonna do with it. Oh, he's got a blinker on. Not gonna cut you any slack here, guys. Nobody does. I got to the point where I don't need it. You know, screw them. We come up right on this corner the other day, and to the left of us is a one-way. And some guy come out and he came the wrong way, almost hit us. You'll get a lot of people coming in the oncoming traffic in your lane. See that? What the hell? Why not? Let's just go in the oncoming lane. There's the bikes doing the same thing. Nice smoky jeepney. See how they all come on their bikes? got to get in front of you. He'll come out. I'm telling you guys, he would definitely have come out anyway. He might have been up there. They just do that. They don't care. They don't look. They just fly out. At least he pulled over far enough. When he stopped, a lot of them would just stop right in this lane to pick up passengers. They do it all the time there. Battery's holding up. I don't even know if this is on. There's where you get your gas at the Petron there. The Sunoco, we got bad gas over here. A lot of these little stations, they put water in it. Grit. It's horrible, some of the gas you get here. Horn quit working, and he's always Mr. Smiley. He sits there. He ain't gonna open this up. Yeah, I don't know what happened. The horn didn't work. The other guy's always got the gate open, but this guy, he sits there talking to his girlfriend or looking at something, and he's just totally oblivious to somebody coming through the gate. Yeah, the horn don't work. I don't know what happened. It was working. Chinese, what are you going to do? Now this thing, I got the preload, not the preload, but I got the, what do you call that? The dampening up, and it does these speed bumps pretty good. Back at the ranch, guys. Morning. There's our little doggy laying in the road. There's our happy puppy. Hi, Shaky. Hi, baby. Okay, we made it. Put the kickstand down, it shuts the motor off. Okay, guys, I'm back at the ranch. I hope the camera's still going, but we'll show you our little puppies while we're here. Hi, Shaky. Hi, baby. Because traffic. There's our little babies. There they are. Look at that. Hi, babies. Hi, little babies. Hi, babies. You little fat puppies. Okay, guys.